Ladies and gentlemen, Doc Leeson here, podcasting Beast of the East, with the Professor John Gotti, the King of G, the Troll Master, the Data Analyzer, Ninja, the Conqueror, the Conqueror, the Conqueror. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Terminator. Oh, yes, he's also the cleaner. But he cannot clean up the mess in Philadelphia where it's supposed to be always sunny, but it's hard and dark times for the 76ers. But before we get there, Prof, how you doing?
For me, it was just Tuesday.
It was just a regular old Tuesday. It was. Where we talked about Dark Side of the Ring. Where I guess it was Dark Side of practice.
For the people of Philadelphia, it was a day where one of their star players is showing his immaturity in many eyes. For those in Philadelphia, it's a day where a star player got kicked out of practice.
Right.
For those in Philadelphia, it's a day where a tide may be turning and the process may be hitting a stopping point upon the flow chart to a championship. But the people of Philadelphia, for the Professor John Gotti, it was just Tuesday. Shout out to Raul Julia.
I would say this. Ben Simmons says, "Yeah, I'll show up. Don't you worry. I'll show up, but I don't like it, and I'm gonna make sure you know I don't like it either." Which I don't blame him. I mean, you really can't blame him for this. I mean, when it comes down to it, you know, here's a guy who said, "Hey, I don't want to play here." I've made it very clear. I've made it very, very clear and evident that I don't want to play here. And yeah, now you want me to come to practice and forget everything that my teammates done said about me, what the coach done said about me, what the media said about me. Just because you can't trade me doesn't mean that you really, really want me back. I want out. I want
Well,
out.
I wonder if they're going to just release him for
Mm,
nothing.
that's such
Because
a
right now, his trade value is going to be pennies on a dollar.
It is. But I don't think see in the NBA is different, like because it's guaranteed money, it's so
There
different.
is no 6th round draft pick to trade him for.
Right. There's a, you know, at this point also you got to see who has the money that can absorb that contract, even if you
That's why
did just
he
get a
might
second round
end up
pick.
being waived.
See, in the NBA, it's very, very rare for a waiving unless there's a buyout. That's why in the NBA there's buyouts. But his
Yes.
contract is so new and it's so large, like he's not going to accept a buy. Well, he might accept a buyout, possibly, but there's not going to be any releasing. He'll just not get paid or whatever the case may be. But in the NFL, yes, released immediately. But in the NBA, you still have to pay them. So what happens is I think you release a player, and if they don't get signed in 2 to 3 days, similar to the waiver
He's only in
process
the
in the
second
NFL
year of his contract.
of that extension,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of money that they would have to be paying him for the remainder of the extension because nobody's going to pick up that contract. They'll wait those 2
35
to 3
million
days.
next season,
Yeah,
37
it's too much.
million 2023, 2024, and 2024, 2025, $40 million. I mean, he's not going to make $40 million in 2024, 2025. I don't even think he's going to make 35 next season.
It depends if they can get a trade partner. Like I said, a team like, and this is usually where it comes in, like the Thunder come in and just say, "Hey, we'll take them," like don't worry about it. Just send us a first round pick. Like they got 99 of them, right? Just send us a first round pick. Like
Well,
they're
just
doing their
because
own
just because
process.
they have the first round draft picks doesn't mean that they should just be giving them away.
Oh no, 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 no. I'm talking about acquiring additional, like, Philadelphia would have to send a first round pick with Ben Simmons just to trade that contract. And that's the problem is that Daryl Morey,
I
he's
was just
looking
gonna
to,
say if there's one GM who would do a move like that, it'd be Daryl Morey.
yeah, because he has no choice. I mean, he's kind of in a rough spot. I know he thought Philadelphia was sweet when he left Houston to go be with his baby girls, but when you look back at it
You
now, it
still
doesn't
salty
look
about
so
that
sweet.
talk? You still
No,
salty
it's
about that,
just,
folks?
I mean, if you want to leave, then leave. Don't blame the kids, though. You know what I'm saying? And now he got Ben Simmons issues. So the roster's going to look different. You got an overpaid small forward, got some overpaid guards in there. So now you got an overpaid person that doesn't want to play for your team, and nobody wants to trade because he wants out.
Yep.
And nobody, I don't think anybody wants him bad enough. Again, Houston, you could just trade him to Houston for John Wall and a pack of Houston's finest potato chips, whatever those are,
Wow.
and maybe a I don't know, Gerald Green photo. You know what I'm saying? And just call it a day. That's probably the best you're gonna get is John Wall at this point. I mean, Houston might give up a first round pick, but John Wall has the amount of money that you can go ahead and deal with that, and maybe they could throw in Eric Gordon, I guess.
No, that's
But
way too
that's a
much
lot of
money.
money.
Yeah, that's
It's
way
a
too
lot of
much money.
money, exactly. So I'm
Then at
interested to
that point,
see.
then the 76ers would have to give up a first round draft pick.
Exactly. But we'll see what happens. I mean, let's wait and see what happens. I know Ben. He's like, hey, you told me to show up. I showed up. Come on, guys. Can't find me if I showed up. I did exactly what you asked me to do. You didn't like the way I behaved. Oh, you didn't like the way Jimmy behaved before, also, right? The way
I
Jimmy
just love the
behaved.
fact that Jimmy Butler was absolutely right about Philadelphia, and
Exactly.
the media has to eat that humble pie.
Zeke style.
No,
Okay, I'm
no,
sorry. But speaking of
no.
Zeke, let's get to the NFL, boy. Yo, but we had a fantastic Monday night game. I mean, my goodness, he said, Doc, you cursed this game, man.
The worst part is I said
Doc.
that on Monday,
You
like
did.
before the game started. I'm like, you're gonna
Oh
curse this team to
God.
lose
You know,
now,
cursed this
and
team.
just so happened you cursed this team. I mean, big
Ooh.
shout outs to Tennessee. Their defense, who has
No,
been real
absolutely.
suspect this year so far. Uh, I mean, honestly, just gave that Buffalo offense the business. The number one offense in NFL right
Yeah.
now. I mean, that's how attack them. Honestly, they
No,
just had
without
a
question.
rough day at the office, and you know, big credits to Mike Vabel and his defensive coordinator for coming up with a great game plan against them.
They definitely did a great job. I will say this. Oh, Henry was clocked at freaking 22 miles per hour on that 75-yard touchdown run. I mean,
See, Doc talk about these just insignificant stats.
so to think about it, don't think. I mean, so 22 miles per hour for a guy that's freaking huge like that. Obviously, I don't know the 40 time. He looks
Okay,
faster
I'm
than he did.
like I feel like you're stating
Come on,
things that
a human being running almost 25 miles per hour. I mean, that's freaking amazing at that strength and size. And think about somebody getting in the way, and I think it was Micah Hyde at one point.
but Michael
There, man,
Hyde stood in there and took that hit. I
that's
mean,
what I was
for
about to
like a
say.
big shout out to Michael Hyde for just
I
getting
thought
because
his leg.
you don't see secondaries do that against the
Mm,
running back. Like they don't sit there
brother,
and like you're gonna have to kill me.
I thought his leg was going to buckle and snap
I
off.
wouldn't say all that.
I'm so
I mean,
serious. I
I feel like
thought,
people are too busy clowning on him for doing that, but I respect the heck out of him for doing
oh
that.
no, and
Like,
the announcer said it like, who's gonna put their life on the line to
yeah,
stop this Mack truck coming through?
you know,
And
throw your life away for justice.
right, exactly. But I mean, what a great game. I'm mad that it came down to a quarterback sneak, which is you
Yeah,
said was,
I
you know,
mean,
The simplest of plays.
It was the simplest of plays, and everything that could have went wrong. The defense was
Yeah,
able to break through, and then Josh Allen slipped as well too. So like it was a Monday Night Football ending. If we're really going to be honest about it, like
yeah, yeah. It was good though.
it was
Really good.
I was readily entertained. Of course, the Bills didn't win, but I mean, I was entertained. I enjoyed it. Um, like Doc said, Derrick Henry ran all over. Honestly, it was really just the Derrick Henry show, and
Which it should be.
the Buffalo defense really couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah. I mean, it really did a good job. I'll say this.
That Bills offensive line played like garbage.
Yeah, Josh Allen was JA. Was definitely running for his life out there. But some great grabs, by Diggs.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Emmanuel
uh,
Sanders had a pretty good catch too.
yeah, Emmanuel Sanders. They had some really really big catches. Um,
Cole Beasley wide open for a touchdown.
Freaking Cole Beasley. I remember in the offseason, his whole thing was he wasn't getting vaccinated. Remember that was the whole
Again,
story on Cole Beasley.
again,
Here he is.
once kickoff happens, people don't care about that crap.
People don't care about that crap. But no, it was fantastic, man. I was really, really happy with the game. It's different, me. It's different when you're listening because obviously I was listening on the radio, right? I was listening on the radio, and it's so crazy. I can see it vividly, but then I did go back and watch the highlights, and it was so refreshing to see
Hmm.
Derrick Henry run down the field. Old school football. Um, Great job by the Titans, like you said, playing that last defensive, stance. Calling the timeout. Hey, how they going to come out? Josh Allen going up to the line,
Yeah,
and
like
because I wanted to see how he
like
slipped. I had to see it.
and literally it was just he just lost his footing. It was the left foot, and then he went down. Like
I
had
had
that
to
not
see it.
happened and he converted that, everyone would be singing a totally different tune. No one would be
Oh, without
screaming
question.
"Oh Henry" and stuff like that.
I mean,
Like,
I probably would be. I probably still
well,
would
I
be
mean,
saying, "Oh,
David
Henry."
Henry still had a great game, but like people aren't going to care about the stats. People are going to care about who freaking won the game.
True. That's very true. I can agree with that part. It's just tough, man, because these are two good teams.
It was a tough loss,
Yeah, and I mean,
and
it stinks for the
and
Bills.
luckily the power rankings reflected that being a tough loss.
Agreed. And that's a good segue to the power rankings, right? That's a great segue to the power rankings in which we did have some movement.
So we had a lot
Not,
of movement.
yeah, not too much. There's still some teams that, you know, went up, went down. We'll see what happens with them. But let's
Yep.
start with number one. Obviously, the undefeated Arizona Cardinals bouncing back from their, tough game. Even though they won last week, but
Yeah,
still
they
a tough
won
game.
last week,
hmm
but still, we
Which
have
is
to
a
take
good.
them
I mean,
seriously. And then, and then, despite the fact that they had a really dominant game against the injured Browns team, they should have won that game, and they did.
hmm
They won that game
hmm
decisively too, which they did. This
Yep,
is what Doc and Prof keep talking about. If you're playing a
exactly.
team, and if they're injury riddled or they're beneath your level, you should win decisively.
True.
And I'll get to
And
that.
this is what happens. They beat the Browns, and they also traded for Zach Ertz.
And but wait, there's
Yeah,
more. And then they got Zach Ertz.
yeah. Which Eagles fans that I talked to were not happy with that
I just
at
thought it was
all.
apropos that he got his final touchdown at home against the
Yes,
Bucks and then got traded like a
and
day
got
or two later.
traded. Mm, 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 mm. But yes, number two here, the aforementioned Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And honestly, again, similar to what we talk about with Alabama, right? Not
Yep.
dropping down too far, losing to a good team.
Uh,
Not really. Hold on. Let me finish this part. Listen,
okay.
going forward on 4th and 1 and falling short as opposed to getting blown out, right? They lose by 3. So they drop from number 1 to number 2,
Yeah.
which clearly makes sense. Um, I don't want to go too far on the SEC talk. That's for
Yeah,
another
let's not
day.
gonna do that because you're
Um,
gonna put yourself in another hole again, Doc.
no holes, no holes. But number three here, Tampa Bay Buccaneers staying put, which is good. I mean, they
They
had a great
won
game
a
against the Eagles.
really compelling game. I mean, the Eagles brought it back late, but that's because Tampa kind of took the foot off the
Right.
pedal, so to
Yeah.
speak.
And I would say the only reason we didn't drop to number four is because Dallas struggled to beat New England.
Okay, and let's get to number 4. So,
Yes. That's the only
exactly
reason.
what Doc's saying,
Yeah.
exactly what Doc talked about,
Yeah.
beating a tough team. I
Hmm.
don't think the Patriots as tough as a team this year.
I don't think so either, and that's why I'm thinking the only reason the Cowboys are number four and they didn't move up to number three is because they didn't dominate. If they would have dominated New England, then they would have jumped ahead of us to number three without question.
I would agree with that, but I don't think they should have been number 4. I think number 5
Mm.
should be number 4, and I feel like now we have to give number 5 credit
Yeah, we do. Shutting
because the
down.
Baltimore Ravens
Yeah. Finally, right?
did a last time you manned up, Joy got stole straight swole
Mm-hmm.
to the LA Chargers. Doc,
No charges,
these
no.
Ravens have won games in almost every single fashion.
That's true.
Defense,
Very true.
Lamar's legs, Lamar's arm,
Yep.
Justin Tucker. They have
Justin
won
Tuck.
it on all different aspects. We have
Mm-hmm.
to give them props. They're at number
No.
5. I think they should be number 4, but that's goes without saying.
Debatable.
That goes
Obviously.
without saying. I think
It's
that's
a debate amongst
debatable.
friends. It's a debate amongst friends. Obviously, the big controversial quote, "All my effing life, I own you." Rogers shouted, "I still own you. I
Here's
still
here's here,
own
here-
you."
here's my problem with this too. I think Dallas should honestly be number 6.
Okay. And then 4 or 5 be Baltimore and Green Bay.
Yep. I feel like they didn't move Green Bay up because of Aaron Rodgers quotes. And
You
I,
said that. That's the second time you said that.
I did say that.
You said that last week too. Aaron
I
Rodgers'
did.
first game. Yeah.
Yep. Because you know why? Because people were expecting him to not play
Right.
that well, and he's exceeding those expectations because that's the kind of player that he is. And I don't know if you had a
Mhm.
chance to listen to his interview yesterday.
No, I
On
didn't.
the that oh, you need to listen to that. But basically, he got on the media about they're so quick to try to get all these hot mics
Hmm.
quotes, and this stuff became viral. He's like, we say stuff like this all the time with fans. Like,
All
there's
the
so much
time.
interactions
Yeah.
with fans. Like, what's the big
Hmm.
deal?
Right. Right. As long as he
But
doesn't get like fined or anything for it, I
suddenly,
wouldn't. I wouldn't like that.
suddenly, it's a quarterback saying that, and he's telling a city that he owns them. Well, now that's a problem. Like now, people want to sit here and debate, pun intended, about whether or not it was fair or foul that he says he still owns him.
It's fair. It's completely fair to me, at
And
least. I
and it
mean,
wasn't just Aaron Rodgers. Like it started with Brett Favre, and he mentioned that during the interview. Like he
hmm
gave kudos to how when Brett Favre arrived in Lambeau Field, how the tide changed against the Bears. Like it wasn't just with Aaron Rodgers. So
I
I
got you.
give him
Yeah.
a lot of credit for that. But the fact that he said, I feel like every single week he's the Packers are going to get placed onto a much more deeper microscope.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised, even if they win their
Yeah.
game.
Aaron Aaron Rodgers
Some
gonna heal.
for some reason they're going to drop a ranking.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers gonna heal, man. He's gonna heal, and he's getting the heel
No,
treatment.
no, no. He's getting booked as a heel, but he's really a
Oh,
face.
that's so rough. That's a rough one. That's a rough one. Moving on to number seven here, the Los
So it sounds like you
Angeles.
don't disagree with what I just said, by the way.
Oh no, no, I
Okay,
I don't disagree at all. I'm gonna let you, I'm gonna let you have it, man.
you gonna let me sit
The
on that?
Yeah, I didn't want
Okay,
to use your words, but I'm gonna let you, let you have it. Number
you gonna
seven
let
here,
me
we got the
fall on my
loss.
sword?
No, 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 no. Los Angeles Rams. Um, I mean, they just beat up on a helpless
Yeah,
Giants
like
team.
that's. I mean, there's nothing really else to say. Like if they
Yeah.
won this game by under two scores,
Yeah.
like I would have no problem with them dropping. but they
Right.
absolutely destroyed a team that's absolutely injury riddled and isn't that good, despite the
Right.
fact that Daniel Jones was having a career season just before his
Nobody wants to
injury.
talk about that though. I mean,
But
I'll
no
tell
one
you when
wants to
I get
talk
the
about
text.
that.
Listen, when I
No,
get
no,
them
no.
text messages,
And you know who I'm talking about, Doc's cousin, because
it's a
I'm
couple
calling you
people.
out.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people be like, man, the offensive
Like,
line
I
stinks.
understand it's all about wins and losses, but you have to look at the team entirely. And we always talk about is the team entirely. Because
He
exactly what we just said about
said,
the Monday Night Football game. Had the Bills won it, no one was going to talk about Derrick Henry stuff because they lost.
true. He said, and I quote, and we'll move on, that it's so crazy that he would have to say this, but Andrew Thomas, he got on Andrew Thomas really bad last season. He said Andrew Thomas being out really is going to hurt Daniel Jones. But
And and
I
that's
don't
all
know.
about hindsight now.
And that's why I told him, I was
Because
like,
because you Giants fans, you
New York
boo-hooed.
fans in general,
I mean,
New York fans in general. I mean, because you always say it, like, even when I tried to say the Knicks were back, you were like, nah,
no, they're
skip
not
that.
back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
Again,
you know,
I don't eat. There's a difference in
right.
sports, folks,
I know.
between there's casual fans, there's pretty passionate fans, there's Doc and Prof where just above the passionate fans, we add that analytical element so we can be critical while still enjoying our teams. And then of course we have like the crazy fanatics that's like, you know, somebody feels like somebody's watching me kind of thing. Like we don't talk about them. But you have to understand that type of divide. So when I say the Knicks are not back, I see it because we
I
haven't
get what you're
got to
saying.
that point to be back.
That's how I feel about all my teams, honestly. Even the Bucks. I would have never expected them to win the Super Bowl last year the way they were playing. Honestly,
Exactly. And
I would
and
have
I
never
saw
expected them
them, turn the
slowly
tide
getting better. Yeah.
and slowly getting better. And that's
I
what the
think it was
Bucks have been doing.
that Chiefs loss is really what I think got them prepared to go forward.
It was
Um,
the Bears game that got the offensive line straightened out, in my
then the
opinion.
Giants,
And then
then
the
the Giants
Giants
game.
game really like ramped up. Okay,
Hmm.
we really need to figure out what we need to do.
Right, you got fourth down. It's fourth down. That part, right? And then the Chiefs, I think, with the
Again, that's
two
all
the
people
B
care
side.
about now. They just care
Right,
about how can we make this into a meme,
right.
and they don't
But
look at
speaking
the game as an entirety.
right. But speaking of here, we got number 8, the Los Angeles Chargers. No Chargers, no.
They
I
deserve to
expect
drop.
Justin Herbert. I
They
expect
deserve to
Justin
drop.
Herbert to
Like
drop in the quarterback
that
rankings also.
that offense played terribly. The defense couldn't stop, a hiccup, especially when
Right.
it came to stopping the run. Yeah, they should be down.
Couldn't, couldn't even pat him on the back.
Yeah,
Number 9, the Kansas City Chiefs. Bouncing
they're
back.
just clinging into that
Yeah.
top 10. They're
Yeah.
clinging in there.
Yeah, they are. Because they were number 10, which I'm
And I think I
surprised
said
that
that last week too. I'm like, watch they end up like going up
yeah,
at
which
least
I'm
one.
surprised they didn't stay number 10 based on, again, how good number 10 played
Hmm.
in the game. Obviously, I don't know the numbers, but I imagine they were underdogs. I believe that Tennessee should have jumped to number 9, but because they beat a
I
top
would,
2 team.
Doc, if I could be controversial for a second, I
Oh,
would say that number 11 should be number 10.
go Bengals, go!
To shout out Tom Grassi, Kitty goes meow. And
Who the Bengals play again?
they played the Lions.
That's why. I mean, they moved up, but I mean, they were supposed to beat the Lions. They were supposed to beat the Lions.
The Chiefs beat a pretty bad Washington football team.
And that's why I'm thinking that they should have stayed at number 10 because they only
like,
that's what I said, like,
like,
they should have stayed at number
well,
10.
they beat the Lions. They're supposed to beat them. Like, but
They're
the
supposed
Washington
to, yeah.
football team's not that good.
That's why I'm like, the Chiefs should have stayed at number 10. Titans should have been 9. I can agree with the Bengals being 11 until let's see who do they play this week. Let's see. Who do the Chiefs play? They play now. Here we go.
They play the
Cincinnati
Ravens.
versus the Ravens versus
Yep,
Baltimore. Now, if Cincinnati, who's been playing really, really good
they
football, I
have.
mean, This is like, Boomer Esiason, we're getting to that point where the Bengals are like really balling out. If they get to a point where they can compete with the Ravens in this game, if this game ends in
Do
anything,
you do you feel like that the Bengals should drop if they lose to the Ravens?
no, they should not. They should stay exactly where they are, but they will go up if they keep this game to within a field goal. If Justin Tucker comes out and wins this game for the Ravens, Bengals don't drop at all.
I agree with
In
that.
my opinion. In my
I agree
opinion.
with that.
Yeah, if Justin Tucker has to come out, honestly, if Justin Tucker has to come out to beat the Bengals, not trying to disrespect the Bengals, but the
And
Ravens,
I mean, not disrespecting Justin Tucker either. He's one of the best kickers in our generation. Period.
no, we expect him. I expect him to make it. Now, if he misses, that's something completely different. And now I got to read on that one. Make sure somebody sends me some kind of
You know
cash.
what, folks? If there's a game-winning field goal, I'm making this happen right now because he
Yeah,
said he wants something for it.
yeah.
So
I'm
we
just
have to
saying, if he
figure
misses
out
it
what
too,
Doc wants. It has to be a game-winning field goal, and Justin Tucker misses.
yeah,
Doc will receive.
he gonna miss right too and hit the upright just inside.
Oh, you're gonna be that specific? I feel like I should get something if that doesn't happen. Then
I will drop all negative talk. I mean, all of it,
all of it,
all the negative
all the
talk.
negative talk.
For a whole week,
So that exact thing has to happen, and if it does not happen, you have to drop all negative talk
for a week.
until the playoffs.
Nah, nah, that's too far. That's too
Until
far.
the playoffs.
Nah, 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 nah.
It's already
Too
week
far.
6. It's already
We
week
got like
7.
99 weeks left.
Stop it.
You
Can't be
mean
week
flag
7.
football playoffs?
No, stop it.
No, I'm not taking that bet. I ain't accepting that one. I can't do that much positivity. That's way too much.
Okay, up to week 12.
8,
12.
7.
He says week 8.
So 8.
He says that's only this week. Stop it. Week 12.
So no, that's too far, man. That's a lot.
How is that too far?
Yeah, I gotta
All
say,
that is what? November.
nah, that's a long time from now.
Oh my gosh.
We're not doing it.
Well,
Bets off, ladies and gentlemen. I know you heard this podcast on a favorite podcast platform.
Coward. Go meditate on that, coward.
That's a good one. That's a good one. But I know, ladies and gentlemen, you heard this podcast on your favorite podcast platform. But if you didn't, you can always come here to debateamongstfriends.com. That's right, www.debateamongstfriends.com to listen to this episode as well as all the previous. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as we go over the Thursday night game preview, as well as the news, the analysis, and the reads.
Sayonara, sucker.